Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be taking a look at Kurasame, who is going to be getting his rework, his FR and BT weapons. Not only that, but we also have Cid Raines, who is going to be getting Oni, his FR Echo. Now we're going to be taking a look mainly at Kurasame, but I will briefly talk about Cid Raines in the Shujuku portion of the video. And we're going to take a look as to why I feel like Kurasame is a very strong third slot character in any team comp that you are going to be taking into future Shinryu fights. But of course, with Kurasame, there was going to be some pros, but there will be a few cons that I will be covering in this video as well. And I'm gonna let you guys know whether or not you should pull for his upcoming weapons in the upcoming banners. So do let me know down in the comment section below what your plans are going to be. If you're going to be pulling for Kurasame and or Cid Raines, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we'll first start off with Kurasame's rework. So his skill 2 now allows for 180% stolen max brave overflow. It inflicts 2 levels of the Hyodo debuff to all targets for 6 turns after the first HP attack and grants the Quiet Instructor buff for 8 turns. Now his EX charges faster by 25%. His follow-up attack now deals 4 HP attacks. His Ice Pillar buff adds a 20% attack, max brave, and stolen max brave overflow up, 30% HP damage up, and when dealing weakness damage adds a 50% stolen brave damage up. His LD gains 1 use and now inflicts his Hyodo debuff after the first HP attack. Now with Core as his partner, Kurasame's FR deals an AoE split HP attack 4 times that inflicts 5 levels of the Hyodo debuff to all targets for 6 turns. Now his FR conditions are as follows: a 20% increase whenever a teammate selects an ice ability, and a 10% per level whenever a teammate attacks a target afflicted with the Hyodo debuff. Now Kurasame's BT effect lasts for 6 turns and provides the following: a 50% party brave damage up, 50% party brave damage cap up, a 30% party HP damage cap up. All enemies cannot increase brave. Whenever you are attacking an enemy inflicted with 5 levels of the Hyodo debuff, the party gains an additional 20% HP damage cap up, and the Hyodo levels do not decrease while the BT effect is active. So let's talk about whether or not you should pull for Kurasame and or Cid Raines in the upcoming banners for the upcoming Transcendence fight. So with Kurasame, I do believe that I firmly believe that Kurasame is a strong third slot character. One of the biggest roles about Kurasame is going to be from 2 different things. First off is going to be his Hyodo debuff, and I apologize if I mispronounce that, but I don't even know how to mispronounce it, so I'm taking a guess. But that debuff makes it so that anybody who attacks an enemy inflicted with that debuff is able to deal additional HP damage, because it does have a built-in 30% HP damage resist now when it is at 5 levels. The other thing is going to be with his BT effect. His BT effect, so long as you are attacking somebody with that specific debuff, everybody in the party is gonna be getting a 50% HP damage cap up, which, if I'm not mistaken, and quote me if I am incorrect on this in the comments below, but when Kurasame's FR and BT drops, BT wise, with his BT effect, I do believe that is the current highest HP damage cap that a character provides via a BT effect. I'm gonna have to check behind myself, but I do believe that I am right on that. But again, you guys can let me know in the comments below. But regardless, if he isn't or is, like, a 50% HP damage cap up while his FR is active is fantastic. So when you take a look at that, and then you take a look at Kurasame's damage output, now that his follow-up attack gets reworked, his damage output is going to be very good. So when you take a look at his skill 1, we're gonna total the follow-ups with his skills. So his skill 1 is going to deal 8 HP attacks. His skill 2 is going to deal 7. His EX ability is going to deal 9. His LD ability is also going to be dealing 9 as well. And then, of course, with the FR, it deals 4 HP attacks, but he does trigger his follow-up attack afterwards. So, I mean, like, in a way, that's it's going to be like 8 HP attacks, but still, like, it's strong damage that he is going to be providing. That he likes. The other good thing about Kurasame is that he is pretty much self-efficient. With everything that he provides, with the debuff that allows him and his teammates to be able to deal increased HP damage. The fact that he does party-wide Ice Enchant, and with that Hyoto debuff, like, it does have a built-in ice resist down, so I mean, like, you're gonna be hitting, you are going to be hitting for weakness damage whenever you are attacking the enemy. So in my opinion, I do feel like Kurasame is a really strong third slot character to help in making it so that everybody on the team is going to deal as much HP damage as possible, especially while his BT effect is active. Yes, that BT effect is short at 6 turns, but thankfully Kurasame is not a speedy character whatsoever. So, like, his BT effect can last a good while. Now, when it comes to his FR conditions, they are easy to meet. The first one is just being enchanted with ice. Kurasame is able to provide that. Sadly, because it is not true ice enchant, anybody with elements may get hurt by that. So you're pretty much going to be working with characters that have like no elements attached to their kit, which of course they are a good amount, so that's not going to be too much of an issue. The other one is going to be depending on the level of his debuff. As long as it is at 5 levels, you can easily get yourself a 50% increase. So when you take a look at the percentages, you'll get roughly between 70 to 80% with FR Echo. If it's a damaging one, that's an additional 20%. If it's a support type one, then you should be adding an additional 40%, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, his FR conditions are easy to meet, but I will say that, like, the one con about his FR is that there were no party-wide effects. For some of you guys may or may not be a fan of that. Like, for me personally, I'm not really too worried about it, especially if I'm going to be relying on somebody else's FR, or if I'm going to be using somebody else's FR as my main force time that does include party-wide effects. And party-wide effects, I'm talking about like HP damage up and HP damage cap up. So that's like one con that I can give to Kurasame, would just be that. Again, with his BT effect, it is short, but again, it does give strong party-wide effects, and it does provide some very good effects to your team. Like, in my opinion, and it's why I consider him to be a strong third slot character, because you are not going to want him to be your main damage dealer, because there are going to be other characters who have that specific role, so that's not going to be an issue. Kurasame is just going to be there to stand there, look like the badass Ice Reaper that he is, and he is just going to be supporting everybody while his effects are active. So, in my opinion, Kurasame is a very strong third slot utility type character with the debuff, with the effects that he gives, with the party ores that he also offers. I do feel like he is a strong third slot option to consider pulling for. The only other reason why you would not want to pull for him if you're going for Quina, honestly, because I think with Quina, I feel like a lot of players are going to be more so pulling for Quina because of the fact that Quina is able to provide basically free HP damage cap. I mean, like, you'll be able to deal the highest HP damage cap possible, but you also got to consider that if you put Kurasame and Quina together, I mean, with Kurasame's 50% HP damage cap, and then you also gonna have the HP damage cap from Quina, because I do believe she provides a 30% increase. That's just stacking HP damage cap for everybody on your team. So that's something to consider as well. So I would say, if you're pulling for Quina, I think you will be just fine with not pulling for Kurasame. At the minimum, I would say pull for his LD so that way you can have that party-wide ice enchant, because I mean that could be it could be something that you might need later down the line. But if anything, if you do manage to get the FR, I mean, like, it's not a bad FR whatsoever. I mean, you can use FR Echo if you really wanted to. If you wanted to, like, say, complete the ticket mission for the upcoming fight, you can do that as well. And you have his FR, so you'd be good to go, right? But in my opinion, though, if you want a strong third slot character, I would say pull for Kurasame, because like he does provide a good amount of offensive support where he is able to increase the amount of damage that everybody in the team is going to be dealing. And I would say you can probably pass up on him if you're going to be pulling for Quina, if you're going to be pulling for Aerith. And I'm not saying that Aerith is like Aerith is the same as Kurasame. Obviously they have their differences, but like if you are chasing for whatever it is that you're chasing for, if you're chasing for like the main like meta characters that are going to be coming up here very soon, then you know it's understandable that you will hold off on Kurasame. So yeah, Kurasame, fantastic character for what he provides for the party and everything like that. Now for Cid Raines, real quick. Cid Raines, the only change that he got was with his Force Echo, and they also added some conditions while his, or some party-wide effects while his FR is active. So basically, what they changed is that whenever an ally attacks, they actually immediately trigger a launch. Previously, that was not a thing with Cid Raines FR, or while you had Cid Raines FR ability active. So this actually makes it so much easier to meet Cid Raines conditions. And for those who do not know, Cid Raines conditions, the first one is a 20% increase whenever a party member except for Cid Raines initiates a knockback, a 30% increase whenever Cid Raines initiates a knockback, and then a 20% increase whenever a party member participates in a knockback per character. So because they added that to his FR effect, that is going to help out greatly, because like for me myself, when I used Cid Raines in the past before FR Echo, I would pair him up with Selfie so that I can get that consistent launch and I would not lose out in the HP damage bonus percentage. But now that he is getting FR Echo, that is going to be completely different. The other thing that was added to his party-wide or his FR party-wide effects is going to be that whenever you are in a knockback, you do gain a 20% HP damage up and HP damage cap up. So I mean, it's just basically just like free additional damage that you are gonna get out of Cid Raines. So for those who are debating whether or not you should pull for Cid Raines in case you do not have him, I mean, he's a fantastic character, especially when you have his BT effect. It does trigger a different follow-up attack, which deals much more HP attacks compared to his regular one. And he is a turn manipulator. He is able to cleanse party-wide debuffs, if I'm not mistaken. And overall, for him being a damage dealer, I mean, with that FR Echo change, he's gonna be a much stronger damage dealer, and one character to really consider pulling for if you want a type of character like Kurasame. Is he necessary to have? In my opinion, no. And then like about a couple months from now, like Aranea's gonna be dropping, and yeah, she's gonna be pretty nasty. They have similar traits to what they gave her with her BT effect, but they're not entirely the same. They are slightly different in a few different things, but we'll get into that whenever she gets closer and closer to Global's release. But overall, for him being a damage dealer, and a very good one at that, if you are in need of a damage dealer and with a turn manipulator and all the other stuff that I mentioned, then Cid Raines is a really good option to consider as well. But other than that though, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know what your plans are going to be for the upcoming banners. And of course, if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for future content. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.